Okay. Welcome to my channel. My name is Fragielle. Thank you so much for tuning in. I am here today to talk about my experience moving to LA. If you've watched any of my previous videos, obviously you can tell the background is a lot different. I've officially been living in California for 5 days now. I just moved in. As you can see, everything is empty. I'm probably echoing, I don't know. My stuff doesn't arrive until tomorrow. I wanted to come on and do a step-by-step video and kind of go over what I did, because there's a lot of things that I wish I knew when doing this process. First, I'm gonna just give a little bit of background about why I decided to move. If you don't care, you can fast forward. But for those of you who are on the fence, if you need a little inspiration, this is what I did and my reasoning. Let me get into it. I've been in Colorado my entire life. And growing up in Colorado, it was like Pleasantville. Growing up, like, you leave your front door unlocked, you leave your car unlocked, like no crime, kids outside playing. It was an amazing place to grow up. Colorado will always have a special place in my heart, but they were one of the first states to legalize weed, and everything changed after that. Everybody started moving to Colorado. The cost of living shot through the roof. Traffic was insane. Like, Colorado wasn't built for that many people. Like, we still have 2-lane highways. Well, I shouldn't say we. They still have 2-lane highways in Colorado. Like, that's how unprepared they were for the amount of people that moved. And now they're trying to expand. Their gentrification is everywhere, building luxury homes. Like, everything is just so expensive and so insane. And I just kind of was over it. With everything going up, the job that I was working at a bank for 5 years. And being there, the cost of living is going up, but pay is not. I just wasn't able to live my life the way I wanted on the pay that I was getting. I needed more money. I wanted to be more stable financially. I wanted health insurance, like just pretty basic things. So I had to start looking for a better paying job. I got hired at a dental office and they were paying me $2 more, so that was good. I loved my coworkers. I was getting paid more money. Like, I was on top of the world. So I'm not on top of the world, that's a little extreme. I was set, I was good. And then the manager, she found another job. So basically I started running the office by myself, and I had very little training. I didn't know what I was doing. It was just not an ideal situation. I was so stressed out and I was like, I can't do this anymore. I want to quit. But then I thought to myself, like, okay, what am I going to do? I'm going to quit this job, and then I'm going to get another one until I hate that. And then I'm going to quit that one and get another one until I hate that. And it's just this like cycle that's going to continue. So I had to sit down and think, like, what do you want to do? And where do you want to be? So all of a sudden I just had this overwhelming feeling, and God was like, you need to move to California. I was like, okay. I've been wanting to move to California since I graduated high school, which was a long time ago. I wanted to move after high school, but it just was never the right time. This time I'm like, I ain't got no man, I ain't got no kids. Why not? Let me just get up and move. Like, I just felt like my life was on autopilot and I needed a fresh start where nobody knows me. I can be whoever I want, which is myself. Like, I'm not trying to like change my identity or anything. I started a YouTube channel 5 years ago, and life happened. I didn't have time to make videos or edit them or anything, so I kind of let it fall to the wayside. But that's always been my passion, was doing YouTube videos. I enjoyed it. Whatever work you can do that doesn't feel like a job, that's what you should be doing. I told myself, I'm gonna start my YouTube channel and I'm gonna move to California. I'm gonna give it my all and see what happens. Because if I don't do it now, I'm never gonna do it, and I'm gonna regret it for the rest of my life. I didn't want to tell anybody at first, because I like to move in silence, you know, in case it fails, nobody knew. I've done things like I've had a podcast, I've tried different things that failed, but nobody knew. It's always easier to try when you can fail in the dark. Me and my mom went to go see Oprah when she did her tour last year. And one thing that she had said was, God isn't gonna bless anything unless you commit to it. And I was like, damn, that's some real shit. So I told everyone, I'm moving to California. I told my friends, I told my family, everybody gave me their opinions. Majority of them were positive, some of them were negative. And I told everybody, I am moving to California before the year is over. That's what's happening. I had no idea how I was gonna make it happen, but I committed to it. And for me to show God that I'm serious, I had to tell everyone. Failing in front of people I know is so scary to me. If I would have told everyone, hey, I'm doing this, and it wouldn't have worked out, I would have been so embarrassed. And then COVID hit. My parents told me, hey, maybe you should wait until next year, put it off until this whole coronavirus thing is over, and then you can move. But God kept telling me, nope, it's happening now. And I'm like, well, I'm listening to God, not y'all. And anything's possible with God. So COVID can do whatever it wants to do, but as long as God is driving the boat, I'm gonna get there. And clearly he made it work. Now I'm gonna get into my step-by-step guide to moving during a pandemic to LA, or anywhere actually. The first thing that I did was research. I was quarantined for like almost 2 months. So during that time, I was watching YouTube videos on like other people who moved to California. I was reading articles, all types of stuff. And this is huge if you're moving somewhere where you don't know anyone and you haven't really been. So I've been to California twice prior, but one was for Coachella and the other one, a friend of mine was moving out here. He no longer lives here, but he was moving here, so I road tripped with him and then I flew back home. So I didn't really get to explore or spend time in California. If you're moving somewhere like completely brand new to you, like I did, definitely research where you want to live. As far as cities, towns, neighborhoods, be really, really specific and find what works best for you. When I was doing my research, we just started technically the race war has been going on since slavery, but George Floyd had just happened, Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud, all of those had just happened. So being a woman of color, I had to make sure wherever I was living, the people were used to seeing Black people on a regular basis, because I didn't want to be like that guy who was walking in that neighborhood and the lady was like, oh, go back to, what did she say? Oh, go back to Oakland. I'm not trying to be that guy. I'm good. I wanted to make sure wherever I'm living, seeing me walking down the street is not going to surprise you. So I had to look at the demographics of the neighborhoods and the cities and figure out what percentage of Black people live there. I'm trying to be safe. Next, I had to look up apartments. The two sites that I used that worked the best for me were apartments.com and Trulia. Now, apartments.com, they were really good because the apartments that they post on there, they have like a certified stamp, so you know it's a legit apartment. I do not suggest renting from like a person. I suggest renting from a place with like a leasing office, like an actual apartment complex. Just because during my research, I saw a lot of people who were scammed. Unless you're trying to get a roommate, then that'd probably be good. But if you're trying to live by yourself, I suggest finding an apartment complex. It's more pricey, but I'd rather spend a little extra than get scammed. What I would do is I would go on apartments.com and you can tell which apartments are certified really easily without even clicking on them. I would pull up the apartment on apartments.com, and if I liked it, then I would jump over to Trulia Trulia and I would type in the address, and on Trulia, they will show you the crime in that area. It gives you a list of what's happened in that area. It also will show you a street view of the apartment as well, and they have people commenting on the neighborhood. It gives you a lot of details on the place. The only reason why I didn't use Trulia to look for apartments is because it's a little tougher to sift through the apartments on Trulia, and you don't really know what's certified and what's not. My next tip is to call each apartment that you're interested in and make sure, if you're moving without a job. I moved without a job. I just up and left. I called each one of them and I made sure they accepted applicants who don't have employment. I called them and I was like, hey, I don't have a job, but I have XYZ saved up. Is that okay? One said yes, but they were like, you have to have a cosigner, and I'm not trying to have a cosigner. I don't want somebody else to be responsible for me. I was like, absolutely not. That narrowed it down to 2 apartments. My next tip, once you've decided where you want to live, what apartments you want to look at, book a trip and go there by yourself. If you're moving alone, this is the best way to make sure you can do this, which you can do this. To know for sure, I flew to California by myself. I rented a car. I spent the entire weekend. I rented a hotel. And when I wasn't looking at apartments, I was driving around. I just drove and drove and drove. That's all I did. And I loved it. I loved every minute of it. I did not want to come home. The sunshine, the scenery. There were 2 neighborhoods that I was interested in. I went to look at one, and then the other one was in Koreatown. That one fell through, so that only left 1 apartment, which is the one I'm in right now. So that brings me to the next tip. If you find an apartment that you like, apply for it immediately. Their prices fluctuate. For example, the apartment that I'm in right now is $1,600 a month. The girl at the front desk was like, if you're interested in this, I suggest you apply as soon as possible because it's gonna go up. So to lock in that price, I applied that night. You know, in the back of my head, I'm like, they probably tell everybody that, like, oh, the price is gonna go up, you should apply right now. But it really did. I applied on Saturday, and then I went back and looked at the apartment on Monday, and it shot up to $1,900. So she was not lying. I looked at the website recently, and now it's down to 17. If you like an apartment, just lock it in. Even if you have 4 more to look at, just lock it in, because you can always back out. If you get approved, they give you, I think, like 72 hours or something to back out if you don't want it. The only apartment I looked at, I got it. Words have power, so I just kept saying every day, I'm gonna get it, I'm gonna get it. And then here I am. After that, I started putting everything into motion as far as moving. I've never driven a U-Haul. I wasn't trying to learn how to drive a U-Haul. Like, it was a long ass drive, and I just wasn't trying to be cramped up in a U-Haul. Like, it was just a lot. So I was like, nah, I'm not doing that. I just wanted to drive my car with my friends. I put $2,000 aside for moving expenses. Pods was only $1,500. They deliver it to your house. They give you a couple days. Well, I think they give you 30 days if you want. And you just fill it up with all your stuff, and then they come pick it up, and then they ship it to wherever you're going. One thing though, I paid for a lock, but they didn't give me a lock. So I had to go buy my own lock. That was annoying. And they charged me $12 for it. But anyways, I got movers because it's just me on my own. I lived on the 3rd floor. There was no elevator, it was stairs. And I'm older than I was when I moved into that apartment, and my days of moving furniture is over. I'm not the same spring chicken I was back in the day. So I definitely had to hire movers, but it was worth it. I paid $600 total. That was for the movers in Colorado and the movers in California, so $300 a piece. They're gonna ask you, where are you moving this stuff? Where are you going? Like, you really don't have to do anything. You just give them a call and they set everything up. I was able to set up the movers through the Pods website as well. For the movers, you schedule everything online. They send you an email closer to your date, and then the day before you move, they'll give you a call, let you know what time they're coming, and you're good. You don't want to spend a lot of money on a humongous pod when it's things that you can just replace. So like, for example, I got rid of all of my living room furniture except one thing. I took my mattress. I did not take my box spring. I gave away my coffee table. I condensed a lot of my clothes, my shoes, purses. If you absolutely have nobody to help you, start early. Even if you just have one person, that'll cut the time in half. 8 trips turns into 4. You don't have a friend that can make 4 trips back and forth from your car, you need to get new friends. I ended up having one of my friends come and help me, which was, oh, great. I had my family come and help me throw stuff out. But even after that, like the day before I had to leave my apartment, I'm cleaning everything and I'm still opening drawers and cabinets and finding more stuff. Like, damn, I forgot to get this, I forgot to get that. So my plan was to be on the road by 3 o'clock in the morning. I wanted to go to sleep at 7 so I'd be well rested for this drive because I don't want to kill my friends. I didn't end up going to sleep until 11. As you can see, like, God made it possible. The devil was trying me at one point, but besides that, like, made it here safely. Everything worked out. I ended up getting a job today, so it's going pretty well so far. I can't complain. It's been so easy, such a good transition. Really, if you're wanting to move or make a change in your life, just take that leap of faith. I got this apartment with no job. I had no job. And the job that I got today, I had no experience and they gave me the job. Like, I had only been here for 4 days. On my 4th day here, I met B. Simone at a salad spot. So I'm just telling you, like, things are happening. That's gonna be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you're enjoying this channel, please subscribe. If you have any questions, please leave them below in the comment section. If you want to follow me on Instagram or TikTok, I will link those below. I do videos every Friday, so happy TGIF, and I will see you guys next Friday. I don't remember the last thing that I was saying. I keep getting phone calls. I'm just so popular. Please, oh, my apartment, jumped in the car, picked up. I need this to stop moving. All right, welcome to my channel.